It's your boy Dway's on Plays. You know the name, you know the face, you know the time, you know the place. And today we're back again with a brand new react. Matter of fact, okay, we've been waiting for this one for a minute now. I've been saying throughout this whole beef season, where are these two, J Molley and Big Hash? Okay, you know these guys have some unfinished, unsettled business. You know what I'm saying? But today, as much as I thought we're going to get a new saga in this beef, unfortunately, J Molley has squashed everything and said he don't want no smoke anymore. Okay. I'm a bit disappointed because I feel like these two lyrically, they're the best of their generation. Okay. And yeah, man, it's beef season, man. It's not the time to be ending the beef. End the beef in 2025. Okay, it's 2024. It's time to really load up the choppers and, you know, go off. All right, but let's get into the video by the boy P.G and see what he has to say about this.
What's going on, you guys? So
What's up?
check it right. It seems like J Molley is ready to bury the hatchet when it comes to his beef with the Big Hash. Now, this past weekend on X, Jay posted the following saying, "Hash and I may have had our differences, but I'll never deny talents when I see it. Man's always been one of my favorite artists in SA, a true musician. I vow to never speak down in his name ever again. Not that it means anything, but you got my flowers, young king."
I wonder what provoked this tweet. I wonder why J Molley felt like out of the blue he had to squash his beef with Big Hash. Now, to be honest, ever since J Molley has been back in the game, something has been different about him. It's just been, I don't know if it's good or bad, to be honest, but we're gonna see. But he's just been different, man. Okay.
Now, this is dope to see, man, and I say that because it takes a real nigga to acknowledge the talent he sees it
A real nigga.
in his opponent, or rather his peer, rather than continuously downplaying his skill level. I mean, Hash is super talented and there's no denying it. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Hash responds to this.
I feel like this is how the beef actually starts. This is how this is how it starts. Like, it's always starts with like good intentions or like, oh yeah, no, we good now, and then something happens and it's back up again. So I don't know, man.
And that's even if he does. I mean, these two had a pretty dope run of diss records towards each other, with Hash starting off with "I'm sorry" from Life Plus ×2, going on to say, "Pay the F nigga respect until I see a slip. I should have said that shit when Sway was around me. Carried a coffin big enough to carry Moose and Molley. No disrespect to anyone, if you're offended, sorry." And Jay responded by saying, "Ironic how these young boys want to call my name out for clout. Meanwhile, being on the phone calling me trying to hash this shit out.
Hey.
Yes, these the life and times you're living in, typical cycle of the internet, because in person they're always backpedaling." Now, Hash had more records towards Molley with the Freestyle Friday, hosted by Stogie T, as well as How to Kill a Dead Body, which features Flame. And Jay had one more record with Paul Bearer. And I must say, these two really got disrespectful with each other. I mean, we had Hash bring up Jay's race, and the reason why he's only popping is because he's white. And we had...
I don't feel like that's fair. I feel like it's harder to make it in hip hop as a white guy in South Africa. I think it's way harder. As a white guy, it's mzansi. Bro, how many white guys are popping? Please point out. Please show me. Where are all these white guys that you say it's so easy for them to make it in hip hop? I don't see them, bro.
Jay bringing up Hash's mother, insinuating that he's still living off her. Now, that didn't sit right with Hash because his mother has been dealing with an illness, and the fact that Jay kept on talking about her outside the diss records, well, it only made the situation worse.
Nobody tossed me to beef with anyone, dog. That man just straight up became a bitch, bro.
Hey!
You know?
Okay.
Like,
That's like, okay.
nah, like, peep this now. Like, I'm gonna say this in the most respectful way possible.
Well, not after you
but
just said he became a bitch. But
nah, look,
yeah.
man, I still think he's a bitch, bro. Anybody that could say my mom out of their mouth, bro, I consider you a bitch, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because, like, that's outside of hip hop. I never mentioned anybody's parents or nothing, none of that shit, you know. And I'm not even talking about what he said in that record, bro. Like, I'm talking about him being extra disrespectful on lives with his girl, like talking crazy about me, talking about, oh, Heartbreak Hotel's my mom's house, da 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 da. And the thing is, like,
What? Heartbreak Hotel's your mom's house. Yo, Jay's disrespectful. A petty king.
what people don't understand is that, like, I respect Jay as an artist, not as a human being anymore, but as an artist. Because, like, I used to look up to Jay. Like Jay is like, bro, like when this new wave shit was happening, like I was like, man, that nigga Jay, he's really doing shit, like, you know, like, and it inspired me to be like, okay, you know what, nah, I'm gonna take the wave a little more serious. Like, I'm not gonna say like he's the sole like inspiration, because there's so many other inspirations. There was A Reese, there was fucking Nasty, there was Frank, there was Patrick XX Lee, there was Letabo Acid, there was fucking man, like, they're escaping my mind right now. But like, for me, like, I respected people, you know, like, and I respected their craft. And like, for me, when it got to a certain point where now we're beefing over things that shouldn't be beefed over, like you.
What was this beef over again? I can't even remember.
Like, cause for me now, like, what people don't understand is that shit was sport. Like the whole rap beef, like that shit was sport. Like, that's what I thought on both parts, right? Because on one end, you have a guy who's trying to, you know, prove that he's more than just a certain type of artist. And then on my end, I have this thing of like, so people are taking me too lightly because I've been doing this R&B shit. So I need to, you know, to come out and be who I want to be, like, as, you know, as I told you, like, this is sport, bro. Like, you know, it's a, you know, and like, I honestly had fun throughout the whole process. But it just, it felt like it was getting too personal at times, you know, us having to make calls back and forth with people through people, because now this man is ignoring me. He's not, you know, but then on Instagram and all of that crazy shit, like you sneak this in and all of that shit, like you tweeting about me on the side, talking crazy about me, like, you know, like, it's just like, bro, like, and at that time I was at the height of my record label issues, so there was no ways I was gonna respond, you know. But at the same time, it's like, okay, good, because I don't want to entertain this stuff. But he's driving it to a point where now people are sending me videos of him talking crazy about my family and shit, like talking about, oh, Heartbreak Hotel is his mom's bedroom, da 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 da. Like, what's like, I'm just like, yo, but is that any of like that shit necessary? Like, yo, for real, like, because from what I got from our understanding was that rap was just rap. Let's not make it personal. And
I feel like Jay just wanted to bully Hash, to be honest. I feel like, you know, but now I remember how the beef started. The beef actually started. This beef started, I don't know if it was at Sway's freestyle, where he had said that he has a casket for Mosley and Molley. I think that's where it might have started. And then after that, shit just started spiraling.
We explained it from both ends, because this has nothing to do with labels. Like, there's no fucking ways. But it worked for the both of us in a way that we had exposure on hip hop as a whole, because hip hop, it needed that. Like, it needed that. It's just like, oh, these young bloods beefing now. Okay, all right, now let's see what they can do, you know? And thing is, like, to this day, I respect Jay as an artist. I don't respect him as a human being, because I'd never go out of my way to say those things about another person, especially because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. You know, having another person that you have problems with, nah, but not their parents, and now they're bringing your parents into it, and it's just like, bro, but is any of that cool? Is any of that, like, in your head? Does that sit right? You know? Yeah. So yeah, that's where we at, man. Fuck that nigga. Like, but as an artist, I respect you.
He said, fuck that
but
nigga.
As a human being, he can go fuck himself.
Jeez,
He
bro.
can go fuck himself.
Yo, Hash is mad, bro. Yo, this nigga's triggered, bro. Yo, JC, what did you do to this guy, bro? Like, god damn. This man is angry, bro. Whew. Relax. Yeah.
So as I said earlier, it's going to be interesting to see how Hash responds to this. But recently, when asked about Jay on an interview with Slikour, while Hash chose to not acknowledge Jay and the question, which tells me he wants nothing to do with him. But either way, Jay Molley gave the big Hash his flowers, and we can only commend him for that. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think it's possible for these two to fully reconcile, or is it too late?
I think Hash did respond. And he said that as much as, you know, he feels like he's done with him as a person, and, you know, he just don't fuck with him like that. He respects him as an artist, and he wishes no ill will towards him or his family. So I don't know if it's squashed, but from my side, I don't think so. Here's why. Because first of all, Jay Molley is kind of unhinged, okay? Like 1 minute it's love, next minute it's hate. Jay Molley is, bro, I don't know, bro. He's in his own world, bro. And then when it comes to Hash, I feel like Hash is very sensitive and very reactive. So the minute Jay just says something or pokes him a bit, I think Hash will lash out. So I don't think the beef is over. I don't want it to continue. However, I don't know, man. I enjoyed this beef, I won't lie. This was one of my favorite SA beefs, bro. I feel like this was one of the beefs that I've seen throughout the young'uns where they actually went head to head. I've never seen Reese and Nasty go head to head, ever. Tell me when Reese and Nasty, no names, I mean no subliminals and all of that, names, everything. That's what Reese and what the hell am I saying? That's what Molley and Hash did, you know. So I respect it, but at the end of the day, we don't need beef to make hip hop great, okay? So cool, let the boys squash the things, but I don't think it's so fun. I think this is a trigger. For some reason, I feel like Jesse, for some reason, every time Jay's about to drop some music or do something, he mentions Hash. It's like he starts something with Hash every time. It's just a pattern I've noticed. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I've got love for Jesse. I don't know Hash, so, but I fuck with his music. But yeah, it is what it is. Catch you in the next one.